Chris Graham here for Trailblazer RV with an in-depth construction walkthrough of the 2023 Venture RV SportTrek Touring Edition.
See you around the campfire.
So, SportTrek Touring Edition, it's our top-of-the-line luxury travel trailer. Yeah, they've got great floor plans, outside kitchens, awesome bedrooms, lots of storage, all that stuff. That's not really what we're going to focus on in this video, though. What I want to focus on in this video is some of the construction features and structural things that kind of set this product apart from a lot of its competitors. And where I like to start is from the ground up. So starting with the running gear, 15-inch aluminum wheels with Goodyear tires, Dexter axles, and Dexter auto adjusting brakes. Some brand names in there that you probably recognize: Dexter, Goodyear. Goodyear tires were optional last year and a forced option this year. So you can't get a SportTrek Touring Edition without Goodyear tires this year, but they still put a value to it. It's about $300 Canadian option for the Goodyear tires, and that's a place that a lot of manufacturers save some money when they're building a trailer. You can put a no-name offshore brand tire on, and very few people notice that when they're making their purchase decision. But I think the market kind of proved what Venture already knew last year, was that running gear isn't the place to save some money. So they went with the Goodyear tires right off the bat. Dexter axles, they're 5,100 pound axles. So you've got over 10,000 pounds in axle weight rating on this trailer before you even consider any weight on the hitch. The trailer itself weighs just over 8,500 pounds, and they can put up to 10% of the weight on the hitch. So you've got good cargo carrying capacity on this trailer. And also the Dexter auto adjusting brakes. So with auto adjusting brakes, anytime you apply any brakes while moving in reverse, they tighten up, because electric RV brakes, as they age and as they wear, they tend to loosen up. So with these ones, they don't require any adjusting, as you just kind of naturally in your travel use the brakes when you're moving in reverse. They adjust themselves and tighten up. Just above the running gear, we get into the frame. SportTrek Touring Edition uses the NXG frame by BAL Norco. So it's a high-strength, low-alloy steel frame that's CNC controlled in the frame rail manufacturing. So you get perfectly even camber in your frame rails. Also, if you look down the frame, you'll notice a lot more outriggers in this frame than what you'll see in a lot of other frames. These are outriggers here that support the floor outside of the frame rails. Because of course, all of the weight of the walls and the roof and everything else in the trailer is pushing down on the floor outside of those frame rails. So if you don't have good support there, what can happen over time is your floor can start to sag over the frame rails. For more information on the NXG frame by BAL, check out our other video on NXG frame. We'll link it in the video here. So running gear, frame, what sits on top of the frame? The floor. What sits on top of the floor? Everything else. So the floor in an RV is pretty important. SportTrek Touring Edition uses 5/8 tongue and groove fir plywood for the floor. A lot of the competitors are choosing this area to save some money. You'll see a lot of the competitors that use OSB for the floor. We've got some competitors in this segment that are using bonded floors, which basically use rigid foam insulation like what they have in the sidewalls for the floor. The problem with that is if you ever have any water intrusion, a water leak in the RV, ultimately where that water tends to end up is on the floor. And with an OSB floor, once it gets some water and absorbs some water, it starts to break down, especially here in Canada where we have the freeze-thaw cycles. You get some moisture into that floor. Once it freezes, it kind of starts to come apart. And as we mentioned, all of the weight of the walls and the roof and everything pushes down on that floor. It's the one thing in an RV that you really can't repair if you have a problem with it. So Venture RV uses 5/8 tongue and groove fir plywood floor, easily the best and most structurally sound way to build an RV floor. One of the things that I missed when I was talking about the frame, built by BAL allows them to use the BAL power stabilizer jacks. And you see power stabilizer jacks on a lot of luxury travel trailers. This is a very different system than most are using though. You've got individual switches for all 4 jacks and individual motors on every jack. Where a typical electric jack on a travel trailer will use one motor and go across the frame and both legs will come down and they'll equalize. These don't do that. So each leg has its own motor, so no equalizing means they don't loosen up over time. These will stabilize the RV a lot better than the typical power jack system does. The other thing that I like to point out with SportTrek Touring Edition, this is one of the biggest things that separates Touring Edition from the standard SportTrek, is the molded fiberglass front cap. SportTrek uses a molded fiberglass front as well, but it's what they call a 3/4 cap. Touring Edition uses the full cap, literally fits over top of the sidewalls and the roof membrane. So you've got a good 2 or 3 inch overlap there where the front cap meets the roof membrane. So even if that seal was compromised, you're really unlikely to ever get any water intrusion there. And ultimately, water is the downfall of almost every RV. So seals up a lot better. It's also just generally a lot more durable than sheet fiberglass in the front, and it's repairable. If you do get some rock chips in it or some other damage, it can be repaired. On the Touring Edition, it's a painted cap as well. So it's a full automotive body paint for the white and gray color. So molded cap at the front. One thing that I like to show at the rear of the trailer is the roof construction. So if you look at that roof, you can see how deeply it's crowned. Look at the distance between the clearance light and the top of the roof at the corner versus in the center. So there's a good deep crown there. The roof decking itself is 3/8 walkable roof decking material. So you can, and obviously you have the ladder on the back and everything, so you can get up there and walk around, don't have to worry about doing any damage. But because it's crowned, as you get water sitting up there and snow in the winter, as that snow melts, everything runs off the roof rather than sitting up there. A lot of the competitors using bonded roofs or laminated roofs, if you stand at the back of the trailer and look at the profile, it'll be a flat roof. The problem, if you start with a flat roof and you've got your air conditioner and everything in the center of that roof and a few hundred pounds of snow load up there, if you start with a flat roof, ultimately you end up with a concaved roof, and then the water's not running off properly, and that's again when you start to get water intrusion problems. Just standing at the back here, I just wanted to point out the standard hitch on the back of here as well. Again, this is something that is designed to work specifically with that NXG frame. So this frame comes over from BAL with the hitch already on it. So it's not just welded on or bolted on like some of the other aftermarket hitches. They still put a 250-pound weight restriction on it. Not a good idea on a travel trailer to put any more weight than that on the back, just for weight distribution and towing dynamics anyway, but a much heavier duty hitch than what we see on other products. And while we're on the topic of BAL and the NXG frame, the NXG slide is designed to work specifically with the NXG frame as well. So just like the frame, each piece of this slide out is individually painted. So better corrosion proof before it gets put together. It's painted. And you'll also notice that these slide rails are cambered as well, if you can see that in the video. So the slide rails have a little bit of a curve to them to support the weight so that they don't sag over time. Also one of the easiest slide out systems that we have for working on if you need to make any adjustments. Here you can see the bolts to make adjustments, and the only maintenance that it requires is just periodically lubricating the top rack here, and that's all they recommend for maintenance. Again, designed to work specifically with that NXG frame that's so important on the SportTrek Touring Edition. Just a couple of things inside that I wanted to touch on. Here you've got the MoreRide fold down step. So that folds all the way down, comes right to the ground, makes contact with the ground, so nice and stable, nice and sturdy. The MoreRide version of this step though has a couple of key benefits. Number one, it's removable. You can remove these two pins and this whole step can come out very easily. A lot of the time when your RV is parked in storage, or if you're just wanting quick access, or if you're parked somewhere where you've got a deck, this step can be problematic if you're too close to the other RV, or if the deck comes up to that height or something. So it's much easier to remove than the other style of step, and also easily height adjustable with the adjustable legs. But inside, just a couple of quick things that I want to show. Number one is the 82-inch ceiling height. It's the highest ceiling height of any travel trailer that we have. And they didn't achieve that by doing the barrel ceiling that we see some other RV builders do. They've actually got full 82-inch wall height in here. And what that allows for, you've got an 82-inch wall height. That allows for, it's about a 72-inch slide ceiling height. And if you're 6 feet or a little over 6 feet, that means you can easily stand up in and out of the slide without worrying about cranking your head. The off-grid solar package is optional on every SportTrek Touring Edition. Most of ours are going to have this. And solar packages are getting to be fairly common in the industry. It's worth mentioning though with Venture RV that they put in an upgraded solar regulator here. So it's a 100-watt solar panel that comes with the package, which is quite common through the industry. A lot of manufacturers have the 100-watt panel. But Venture RV is putting in a 30-amp charge controller. So this is an expandable system. You can add another panel or two up there without having to change out this charge controller. A lot of the other products that we come up against, and even some that we represent here, even though they have a 100-watt solar panel option, the regular they're putting in is only 10 amps. So it's basically only good for the panel from the factory. It can't be expanded. The central control panel here is unique to SportTrek Touring Edition. We've got a lot of our luxury travel trailer products are now going to a central control panel like this. What I like about the Venture system is they resisted the urge to go to the touch screen. This still gives you all of the same. Capability. You've got master control for all of your lights, your awnings and water pumps, and everything can all be controlled from here. But it is an actual. It is a physical switch that you don't rely on a touch screen, and it doesn't take any time to load, to initialize or anything like that. You still get the Bluetooth connectivity and everything. If you want to control it from the app, you can do that. But there's something about having an actual switch in an RV that's definitely valuable. Two more things before I let you go here on the inside. I just like to show in the bathroom here, just because this is where you'll find the panel for it. Every Venture RV product since 2019 has featured LevelMate Pro. So LevelMate Pro is an app that you get for your phone. It connects to your phone via Bluetooth. So download the Venture RV app, and then when you go to level your RV, this basically replaces the old floor level that you would have had to use. So pull up the app on your phone. It'll show you exactly how many degrees out of level you are. Then you can, if you're in your truck, then you can back up until you're as close to level side to side as possible, or you can back up onto a block to level side to side. And then you simply use the front tongue jack to level front to back. And you can see exactly to the 1/10 of a degree how far out of level you are. It kind of seems like in this industry there's an app for everything right now, and some of them seem to be just an app to have an app, but this is one that I find to be really, really useful. LevelMate Pro, it's been on every Venture RV product since 2019. And then another new feature on every Venture RV product, not every Venture RV product, but Stratus, SportTrek, and Touring Edition is RV airflow. So that is a new component that goes in your cooling system. So you've got your ductwork for your air conditioning going down both sides of your roof. But historically, what's happened with RV air conditioners is all of that output from the air conditioner comes straight down and creates some real turbulence in the ductwork. So what you end up getting is pretty good air out of these vents and not very good air out of the vents at the very front and at the very back. The RV airflow is designed to fit in between the air conditioner unit and the ductwork to evenly distribute the airflow throughout all of the ductworks. So making for a much more efficient air circulation from your 15,000 BTU Coleman Mach air conditioner. And that pretty much covers it for the detailed construction walk around of a 2023 SportTrek Touring Edition. Hopefully, maybe you've just purchased one of these. If you did, hopefully you got it from Trailblazer, and we'll see you around the campfire. If you're thinking about a luxury travel trailer, you can't go wrong with a SportTrek Touring Edition.